Most people are so afraid of dying that they forget to live. Do you remember that movie in the 90s? There was a movie called The Sixth Sense. Spooky. I see dead people. And that is true. When we walk around in the shopping centers, the shopping malls, the schools, maybe your workplace, you see dead people everywhere. My friend, unless we have the life of Christ in us, we are dead already. But the promise of Jesus is that his death was in our place and his resurrection is the way into our future and our eternity. And because he lives, we can live. Remember that song, Because He Lives, I Can Face Tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know, yes, I know, he holds my future. Life is worth living because he lives. The testimony through all time that is the fundamental proof that Jesus is alive is that Christians can face death with a smile on their face because they know that that moment of death is a door to life. And you are not the most alive you will ever be right now. That moment is coming. And so we look forward to that day. The Apostle Paul says, to live is Christ, to die is gain. It's beneficial. It's profit. It's an upgrade. He says, I would rather depart and be with Christ by far. That is way more important than being here right now. He says, but I'm here, sadly, for your sake. It's good for you that I'm here, but actually, I'd rather go and be with Jesus. What a glorious hope and future we look forward to. What a glorious hope, man. We have a future. And that's the legacy of being a child of God, is that this is not the best it's going to be. If you're hopeless and in despair, look up, man. You think this is bad? Something better is coming. And we walk in the victory of his death and resurrection even while we are on earth. It's not just one day for heaven. That resurrection power is for here and now. Came across a story. In India, a little village called Karnataka, there is a sanctuary, a wildlife sanctuary. And this little dog was wandering around in the wildlife sanctuary, one of the ranger's dogs, and he was being stalked by a leopard. And so, as any good survival instinct kicks in, his survival instinct kicked in, and he fled to human habitation through the window of a bathroom to flee from this oncoming leopard. But alas, the leopard joined him in the bathroom. But on the way in, the leopard knocked the little stay that kept the window open, and the window closed behind the leopard. And the leopard and the dog were in this confined space. Now, all of a sudden, the leopard, feeling trapped, wasn't that hungry anymore. So he found a place to sleep, and so did the dog. Not really. He looks quite intimidated, but this is a real photo of a real event. The trapped leopard lost all instincts and all desire to live. The very thing that got him in that hole was stripped away from him. So after 12 hours, they decided, it took them 12 hours, but they got the rangers in. I think a really brave one, probably the same guy who took the photo, with a tranquilizer dart to shoot the leopard. I think all hell broke loose inside that confined space in the time it took for that leopard to fall asleep. I mean, could you imagine that being you? And they removed the leopard. Good story. The dog survived, emotionally scarred. He needed a comfort animal after that. In the emotional support bunny, I think. And the leopard was safely returned to his natural environment. When I read this story, I thought, how many of us are feeling that same entrapment? We're lured into life by the promise of life. We're lured into our situations, our circumstances, by the projection and the thought that there could be something else. The vision, vision, definition of vision, is a clear picture of a preferable future. I believe that leopard had a clear picture of that dog in his preferable future as a snack. And when he was lured in, he realized, I can't get out of here. I'm trapped. And that feeling of entrapment is what closes in around us. Sometimes you could maybe experience that in the form of a panic attack or some form of anxiety or sleeplessness. Maybe for some of us it is just this perpetual fear, this feeling of trepidation, this thought that something is about to happen that is quite scary. And on different days, maybe that thought takes different forms and different pictures. Maybe it's the fear of crime or the fear of impending doom. Something crazy is going to happen. Now, if you live in that space, friends, here's the good news. It doesn't get better. You're going to go crazy. That's the best that scenario gets you. Jesus is calling you out of your despair. He's calling you out of your dungeon. He's calling you out of your confinement into his future. Do you want to live there? Do you want to live in confinement or do you want to be free? At any time that you choose to believe in the death and resurrection of Jesus for you, and not just for the sake of going through a traumatic event like Jesus did, but for the sake that it was for you. When you believe that, you will be free. It was for me. Friends, you are worth it. He saw the value in you and he called that out. He did not die in vain. Let us not receive the grace of God in vain. There is a full price for a full package. I'm signing up for the full package. Do you want to sign up for the full package? Pray with me. Do you want to stand? Let's stand.